Under the scorching heat of up to 50 degrees Celsius in the Middle East, herds of camels march proudly against the desert winds, their silhouettes blending into clouds of golden sand. They are not just the so-called ships of the desert. Here, camels are also known as white and red gold, because camel milk and meat form a supply chain more valuable to local life than beef or goat. The biggest question people ask is, how can modern camel farms transform an animal once seen only as a nomadic companion into the centerpiece of a multi-million-dollar industry? Let's explore the answer in today's video. There's a fascinating tradition in the Middle East that allows farmers to evaluate the potential of camels before officially building farms: annual camel races. On the racetracks of Dubai, camels dash at speeds of up to 65 km/h, their backs fitted with robot jockeys swaying to each stride. Their legs move in unison, creating the illusion of crashing waves rolling across the blazing desert. When a camel breaks away in the final stretch and wins, investors can clearly see the economic and physical value of these animals, once thought to be slow and gentle, but in fact, powerful and full of potential. These annual races not only reinforce the role of camels in production but also generate significant economic and tourism value for the region. Despite their calm appearance, camels in the Middle East can be unexpectedly dangerous. A single kick can break bones, a headbutt can knock down an adult. During mating season, males become aggressive, ready to attack anyone who enters their territory. That's why farmers must always stay alert, build sturdy enclosures, and undergo proper training to avoid accidents. From thrilling races to the hidden dangers of daily life, camels prove that transforming them into sustainable assets requires deep knowledge and advanced technology in modern farming. From the racetrack to the farm, camels receive meticulous care under strict breeding standards. In areas like Abu Dhabi and Qatar, dozens of farms now raise hundreds to thousands of camels each. Some farms span hundreds of hectares, providing fully closed-loop environments for camel breeding and production. Camels are no longer just desert transport, they are now part of a large-scale industrial supply chain for both milk and meat. Each camel is implanted with an electronic chip under the skin to track health, vaccination schedules, milk yield, and genetic lineage. All data is transmitted in real time to a central management system, allowing farmers to monitor and control the herd efficiently. Alongside modern technology, farm owners in Abu Dhabi and Qatar also improve facilities and living spaces for camels: spacious grazing areas, shaded roofs, cooling fans and misting systems in summer, and windproof shelters in winter. Water troughs and feed rations, from hay and grains to agricultural byproducts, are carefully checked for quality to keep the camels healthy. Importantly, strict rules are followed: no growth hormones, minimal antibiotics, ensuring pure milk and meat that meet international standards. With 24/7 supervision, regular vaccinations, and immediate treatment of any symptoms, camels here are guaranteed to grow healthy and strong. Beyond traditional hand milking, some Qatari farms now use automated milking systems, ensuring absolute hygiene while minimizing stress for the animals. Milk is expressed smoothly, according to the camel's comfort. Once collected, it is immediately cooled, sterilized, bottled, or processed into milk powder, yogurt, or even premium cosmetics. On average, a female camel produces 5-7 liters of milk daily. This white gold of the desert is exceptionally nutritious yet light, low in fat, low in lactose, rich in vitamin C, minerals, and insulin-like proteins compared to cow or goat milk. Camel milk aids digestion, boosts immunity, and is particularly beneficial for diabetics or those allergic to cow's milk. Its commercial value skyrockets when exported to Europe, the US, or Japan, fetching many times the price of cow's milk, fully deserving its prestigious title. Alongside milk, camel meat is a prized delicacy cherished across the Middle East. Once camels reach slaughter standards, they are processed in modern facilities that strictly follow international certifications such as halal and HACCP. The meat is carefully divided into cuts for various uses: tenderloin for 5-star restaurants, ground meat for premium sausages, and organs sold at traditional markets. Processed meat is preserved in smart storage systems, vacuum-packed, and labeled with traceability codes. Thanks to these standards, camel meat stays fresh for weeks without preservatives. Middle Eastern camel milk and meat plants supply high-quality exports to demanding markets like the EU, US, and Japan, generating tens of millions of dollars annually. This firmly places Middle Eastern camel farming at the forefront of the global food industry. From the harsh desert to luxurious banquet tables, the journey of camel farming and production is clear proof of technological power and the wisdom of Middle Eastern farmers. This is a resource of immense potential, set to thrive in a new era where healthy nutrition is valued above all. So, what do you think about the value and potential of camels compared to other livestock in the global food industry of the future? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep discovering more fascinating secrets from the modern industrial world in our next videos. High in the remote Andes Mountains of South America, there exists a rare fiber often called the fiber of the gods. It comes from the vicuña, a sacred, endangered camelid whose fleece is the source of the most luxurious and expensive wool in the world. Harvesting this precious fiber is no simple task, and it has been the life's work of Don Pedro and his family for many years. What is his secret? How can one gather such a rare material while still protecting this revered animal of the Andes? Join us as we uncover the answer in today's video. Unlike domesticated sheep, vicuñas roam free in the wild, so their fleece cannot be harvested in the same way. Instead, communities perform the ancient chaka ritual, a collective roundup that allows their fiber to be taken without harming them. To corral these swift creatures requires deep knowledge, patience, and coordinated effort. One careless move during the herding process can injure both the animals and the farmers themselves. At over 4,000 meters above sea level, vicuñas roam vast open landscapes stretching across thousands of square kilometers. Unlike cattle or sheep, they are not raised in conventional farms. Instead, their natural environment itself is their farm, where they graze, breed, and grow freely. Although not confined, Don Pedro still manages the herds carefully. Most monitoring is done by direct observation. To keep them healthy, He avoids growth hormones and antibiotics, relying entirely on the balance of their natural habitat. This model follows the principle of non-interference, rather than controlling their lives. The focus is on protection and sustainable management, ensuring both the preservation of the species and the exceptional quality of their fiber. Now let's follow Don Pedro as he harvests the vicuña's fleece. The process begins with the traditional Incan Chaca ritual. Hundreds of villagers work together, forming a vast human chain to gently drive the vicuñas into temporary enclosures. Once inside, each animal is carefully restrained and quickly shorn using electric clippers. The process is designed to be as swift and stress-free as possible, ensuring no harm is done. After shearing, every vicuña is marked and immediately released back into the wild. The markings help communities track which animals have already been clipped, since each one can only be shorn once every 2 years. From the ritual to refinement, the vicuña's fleece undergoes a meticulous and complex production process before becoming luxury yarn. First, the raw fiber is hand-sorted according to color and fineness. The fleece from the back is the softest and most valuable. It is then gently cleaned to remove dust and impurities, a delicate process that must not damage the fragile fibers. The most crucial step is spinning. Fine strands are carefully drawn into ultra-thin yarn. Vicuña fibers average only 13 microns in diameter, among the softest in the world. This yarn is then woven into exquisite fabrics. For centuries, this fabric was reserved exclusively for Incan royalty. Today, it is used in luxury coats, scarves, and high-fashion garments. Creating just one sweater requires the fleece of 6 to 7 vicuñas, and such a garment can sell for anywhere from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars. And yet, the local farmers who dedicate their lives to caring for and shearing these animals receive only a tiny fraction of this value, leaving many families still living in poverty despite their crucial role in the supply chain. From start to finish, the vicuña remains profoundly different from other domesticated animals. It retains its wild spirit and natural freedom. Thus, the story of vicuña fiber is not only about the rarest and most valuable wool on Earth, but also a symphony between nature and humanity, where the efforts of farmers like Don Pedro lie not in building pens and barns, but in patience, resilience, and respect. What do you think about this remarkable animal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Japan, a country renowned for meticulous attention to detail in every agricultural product, is home to a fruit the whole world craves, yuzu. Though its appearance is not particularly striking, yuzu is one of the most expensive ingredients because of the enormous economic value it brings. So, what makes this fruit so incredibly expensive? Why can Japan export yuzu to many countries, yet the US cannot officially import it? And what's so special about the way Japanese farmers cultivate, harvest, and process their yuzu? Let's find out right now. Interestingly, yuzu isn't exclusive to Japan. In the US, states like California and Oregon also grow this fruit. However, Japanese yuzu is always rated much higher because of its intense fragrance, rich essential oils, and uniquely sharp sourness, qualities American-grown yuzu has never quite matched. Yet, US law currently prohibits the import of fresh Japanese yuzu. The reason? Concerns that pests might devastate American citrus groves. As a result, even top chefs in the US are limited to using domestically grown yuzu, which is less aromatic and cannot compare to the original from Japan. This unattainable factor has only fueled the reputation of Japanese yuzu as a true luxury item on the global market. To produce such a precious fruit, Japanese farmers put in tremendous effort. A yuzu tree can take 10 to 15 years to bear fruit if grown from seed, or about 4 to 5 years if grafted. They carefully select steep mountain slopes with mineral-rich soil and cool climates, while also building windbreak nets and covering the roots during winter to protect the trees from damage. Unlike most fruits, the Japanese don't focus too much on yuzu's outer appearance. Its true value lies in its thick, bumpy peel packed with essential oils and a powerful aroma. A single hectare can yield 8 to 12 tons of yuzu annually, but quality always takes precedence over quantity. Harvest season usually falls between November and December, just as the cold winds set in. Farmers use special scissors to cut each fruit carefully, since even the smallest scratch can drastically reduce its value. On average, a worker can harvest 200 to 300 kilograms of yuzu per day, and in concentrated farming areas, yields can reach up to 30 tons per season. The harvest season feels like a festival, with baskets overflowing with golden yuzu and its fragrance filling the air. After harvesting, yuzu goes through numerous processing steps that elevate it from a fruit into a cultural icon. Yuzu juice, famous worldwide, sells for as much as $150 per liter. Yuzu essential oil is used in luxury cosmetics, perfumes, and spas. Meanwhile, yuzu kosho, a blend of green chili, salt, and yuzu peel, is considered a secret weapon in Japanese cuisine. But it doesn't stop there. Yuzu finds its way into udon noodles, hot pot broths, pastries, and even high-end cocktails across Europe. Most notably, on the winter solstice, the Japanese practice yuzu, placing whole fruits into hot water to relax, believing the fragrance will bring health and good fortune. Looking at the figure of 30 tons of yuzu harvested annually, one might think this is a large yield. But compared to the massive global demand, it's just a drop in the ocean. Scarcity, combined with strict trade restrictions, has turned Japanese yuzu into a super expensive fruit that not everyone has the chance to taste in its authentic form. Clearly, the value of yuzu lies not only in the fruit itself but also in the agricultural philosophy of the Japanese: patience, meticulous care, and pride in their traditional food culture. Thanks to these values, yuzu has gone far beyond being just an agricultural product. It has become a symbol of refinement and distinction in the way Japan conquers the world with flavor. Unbelievable. From just a small ornamental fish swimming in a garden pond, people can create $1 million economic empire. In China, there is one of the largest koi farms in Asia where millions of individuals are produced each year, exported around the world, bringing in millions of dollars in profits. In today's video, we will explore how can a koi farm in China achieve millions of dollars in revenue each year. What makes this model the focus of investors and global ornamental fish enthusiasts? And more importantly, is this a potential business opportunity that many countries are missing? Before coming to the Chinese koi tycoon, we need to understand more about this fish. Koi fish, or nishikigoi, originally from Japan, are symbols of good luck, wealth, and vitality. They are not just living creatures, but works of art swimming in the water. A high-quality koi can be sold for thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars, with some even reaching $1.8 million in international auctions. Since 2010, when the Chinese wealthy began to seek out this elegant and peaceful hobby, koi fish quickly became the top choice. And that is when domestic farms began to rise. This koi farm currently covers an area of over 300,000 square meters, equivalent to nearly 40 football fields. Here, People not only raise fish, but also establish a closed ecological system, integrating from breed research, egg incubation, care, selection, to export and serving high-end customers. The system includes hundreds of specialized ponds, classified by age, fish line, quality level, and commercial purposes. Each pond is equipped with sensors to monitor water quality, temperature, pH, and dissolved oxygen, ensuring the farming environment always meets international standards. A team of aquaculture engineers and nutritionists work full-time, closely monitoring the growth of each batch of fish. On average, this farm produces over 1 million koi fish each year, of which tens of thousands meet high standards, with clear colors, regular patterns, and balanced bodies ready to appear at international auctions or exhibitions. Unlike conventional ornamental fish, koi fish require an extremely strict care process. From the incubation stage, the young fish are raised in specially controlled water to avoid bacterial infections and skin and scale diseases. Experts conduct strict selection, eliminating more than 90% of substandard fish early on to focus resources on elite individuals. Koi fish food is also an art. Each age and each fish line will have its own portion, mixed from animal protein, spirulina algae, imported minerals, and supplemented with digestive enzymes to optimize the absorption process. In addition, the light and color of the pond are also adjusted periodically to increase the brilliance and contrast of the patterns on the fish's body. In particular, the pond water is continuously filtered through 6 to 8 layers, clean enough to meet domestic water standards. Feeding, water changes, and environmental control are automated up to 90%, helping to reduce risks and increase production efficiency. It is no exaggeration to say that this model is a living gold mine. Although the operating costs are very high, the profits from koi fish still surprise many investors. A normal koi fish can be sold for between $50 and $200. But high-end individuals, with perfect shape, special colors, or purebred origin, can be sold for between $1,000 and more than $20,000 each. Those that have won prizes at international competitions are even valued at up to $100,000, more expensive than a car. With an output of up to millions of fish per year, this farm earns revenue ranging from $8 to $12 million. Not only does this model sell fish, it also expands to additional services such as designing fish ponds, providing filtration equipment, selling specialized food, organizing online koi auctions, creating a closed value chain, generating continuous profits. Currently, Chinese koi farms are still catching up in terms of genetic quality and color sophistication. But in terms of commerciality, production scale, and price competitiveness, Chinese koi have surpassed them by a long way. Southeast Asian, Middle Eastern and European markets are gradually shifting to importing koi from China because the price is 30 to 50% cheaper than Japanese fish, while the quality is increasingly improved. This opens up a new trend where China can dominate the mid-range and mass koi market, leaving the super high-end playground for Japanese hatcheries. In today's world, where food safety is a top concern, clean and quality eggs have become a major priority for shoppers. But did you know that every clean egg on the shelf has gone through a highly strict and controlled production process? Today, let's take a behind-the-scenes tour of a clean egg production facility to see how it all works. Egg production facilities are usually located far from residential areas to avoid contamination and to provide a spacious, clean environment for chickens to grow. Most operations follow a closed-loop model, meaning everything, from raising hens, collecting eggs, to processing, packaging, and distribution, is done in-house. The facility is divided into clearly separated zones: areas for baby chicks, for laying hens, egg processing zones, cold storage, packing areas, and warehouses. Each area is carefully designed to suit the specific needs of the chickens. For example, chicks require warm temperatures and special care to grow healthy, while laying hens need open, well-ventilated spaces to lay eggs consistently. On average, a hen lays 1 egg per day. So with thousands of hens, these factories can collect tens of thousands of eggs daily. After being cleaned, inspected, and sorted, the eggs are packed and transported in refrigerated trucks to distributors, supermarkets, or retailers. Because of the need for high volume and high standard production, almost every step is automated and streamlined. For example, automated feeding and watering systems with smart sensors deliver precise amounts of food and water depending on each hen's growth stage. Egg collection systems automatically guide the eggs through a chute toward the processing area right after they're laid. Egg cleaning systems use light water sprays and UV light to remove dirt, shell particles, and kill bacteria. Egg coding machines label each egg with a traceable code for origin and batch tracking. Some factories even use automated coop cleaners, like washing robots, to clean feeding areas and keep hygiene standards high. The basic process of clean egg production works like this. First, hens are fed and watered automatically. After they lay eggs, the eggs roll gently into collection trays. From there, eggs are moved to the processing zone, where they are washed, and cracked or misshapen eggs are removed. Then comes sorting, followed by packaging. Every step is part of a seamless system, supervised by staff to ensure consistent quality in every egg. So, what makes an egg standard grade and ready for market? A qualified egg must have a clean, unbroken shell around, vibrant yolk thick, jelly-like white, be stored at a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. Once eggs pass this rigorous inspection, they're tagged with traceability labels and sent to market, safe, nutritious, and ready for consumer trust. It's not just about machines and automation, the environment also plays a huge role in producing high-quality eggs. Chicken coops must be clean and breezy to reduce stress and keep egg production consistent. Lighting should be balanced, not too bright, to match the hen's natural biological cycles. Feed must be nutritious, hygienic, and free from banned substances, with a verified origin. Today, clean eggs aren't just a staple at local markets, they're also exported internationally. These eggs aren't just a nutritious food source, they also represent high economic value, offering steady income for thousands of farms every year. Behind every clean, high-quality egg, a common sight in homes across the world, is an entire, carefully coordinated process, from raising and caring for the chickens, to inspecting and ensuring the safety and nutritional value of every egg. Clean eggs have become a symbol of quality and progress in today's modern agriculture industry. Hello everyone! Today, we're going to raid one of the world's largest giant tortoise farms, home to hundreds of Aldabra tortoises, the second largest land tortoise species on the planet. This isn't a zoo, nor is it a traditional nature reserve, but a commercial farm that combines conservation, research, ecotourism and education, located in the unlikely place of Thailand. Yes, you heard that right, there's a world-class tortoise farm in Southeast Asia. And in today's video, we'll explore inside this facility, learn why Aldabra tortoises are so special, how they're raised and preserved, and some incredible facts about these supergiant tortoises. The Aldabra tortoise, scientifically known as Aldabracles gigantea, is the second largest land tortoise in the world, after the Galapagos tortoise. They can weigh up to 250 kilograms, grow to over 1.3 meters in length, and are particularly famous for their average lifespan of up to 150 years, with some individuals living up to 200 years. Their origin is the Aldabra archipelago in the Seychelles, where they were isolated from humans for centuries, allowing them to survive without being hunted or exterminated. With its giant, slow and gentle appearance, the Aldabra tortoise is not only attractive in appearance, but also has great ecological value. In the wild, they act as natural gardeners, helping to disperse seeds, clean the environment and maintain ecological balance. However, due to threats from climate change, habitat loss, and black market trade, this tortoise species is in need of strict protection. That's why this farm was born. What makes this place special is the standardized and strict care process down to the smallest detail. Each tortoise has an RFID identifier to track their health, behavior, and care history. Each area is modeled after the living conditions of the original Aldabra. Caring for the tortoises here is not as simple as feeding them grass. The experts at the farm have developed a menu for each individual, depending on their age, sex, and health status. In addition to fresh grass grown on site, the tortoises are supplemented with organic vegetables, minerals, calcium, and vitamin D3. Their digestive systems are monitored through weekly fecal samples. Every day, the old tortoises have their skin, shell, eyes, and nails examined, not unlike a routine health check for the elderly. The farm also stands out for its extremely efficient artificial reproduction system. Aldabra tortoises lay 10 to 25 eggs per year. The eggs are collected by hand and placed in incubation rooms with tightly controlled temperature and humidity. Interestingly, the sex of the baby turtles depends on the temperature during incubation. Higher temperatures produce females, while lower temperatures produce males. This helps the farm control the sex ratio in the population, which is extremely important for sustainable reproduction. After hatching, the baby turtles are raised in a separate area for at least a year. They are trained to find food, get used to the natural environment, and have their health checked regularly. The healthy individuals are then brought to the open garden, where visitors can admire and even interact gently under the supervision of the staff. but the farm's goal is not just to raise turtles for fun or to serve tourists. They have a higher mission, to preserve and restore the ecosystem where the Aldabra tortoise once lived. The farm cooperates with many international organizations such as IUCN, WWF to bring adult tortoises back to the islands of Seychelles, Mauritius, Madagascar. There, turtles would replace the ecological role of extinct species like the dodo, helping to restore the natural environment through their natural biological activity. However, it cannot be denied that Aldabra tortoise farming also has its downsides. On the black market, an adult tortoise can be sold for between $8,000 and $20,000. Therefore, many disguised facilities have taken advantage of the name of conservation to make profits. The farm we discovered once faced this suspicion. However, they now have full CITES international permits, transparent information, and extensive cooperation with reputable organizations to prove their legitimacy. Can you believe that just 3 small changes inside the pig barn can help your herd grow stronger, gain weight faster, and reduce the risk of disease? It's true. Many large-scale farms have already adopted smart farming techniques that boost herd health, control outbreaks, and improve productivity. Small changes, when done right, can lead to big results. Thanks to these specific strategies, many farms have reported noticeable improvements and a clear boost in economic efficiency compared to traditional methods. Let's dive in and see the difference for yourself. According to a Zinpro Corporation study on 30,000 sows from 300 farms, over 90% suffered from foot injuries, and 40% had severe damage or inflammation. A pig's hoof may seem small, but it plays a crucial role in mobility and overall health. If the hoof cracks, grows unevenly, or becomes too long, it can cause pain, reduce activity, lower appetite, and increase the risk of infection. Proper trimming helps prevent these problems. Farmers should learn how to hold the pig's foot correctly and use specialized knives or clippers to trim excess hoof material. Doing this every 2-3 months keeps the herd healthy and growing evenly. Once grinding is complete, spray a layer of blue-tinted antiseptic on the treated hoof to disinfect and protect it from bacteria, fungi, and other causes of inflammation. This layer not only shields the hoof but also speeds up healing if there are minor scratches from trimming. Ventilation plays a vital role in maintaining healthy air quality inside the barn, a key factor for protecting pigs' respiratory health. A well-designed system constantly brings fresh air in from outside while pushing out contaminated air containing bacteria, dust, harmful gases like ammonia, and excess moisture. This refreshes the environment, reduces pathogen buildup, and keeps the pig's lungs healthy, especially in enclosed or large-scale operations. One of the most advanced solutions today combines high-performance turbofans with adjustable Vancom speed control valves. Turbofans create a strong airflow in short bursts, speeding up air exchange and lowering temperature and humidity in the barn. Meanwhile, Vancom valves adjust fan speed according to real-time needs, saving energy while keeping the environment stable. This combination delivers outstanding efficiency, reducing harmful gases, dust, and humidity while improving seasonal temperature regulation. As a result, pig health improves, disease rates drop, and pigs eat better, grow faster, and more evenly. NutriSow is one of the most advanced automated feeding systems, designed specifically for sows during pregnancy and lactation. It uses smart technology with sensors, remote programming, and automated adjustments. What makes NutriSow special is its ability to deliver the exact amount of feed each sow needs, rather than fixed portions at fixed times, like traditional methods. Using sensors and smart programming, the system monitors each pig's eating habits, feed intake, and health status, then adjusts portions based on its reproductive stage, pregnancy, farrowing, or nursing. This precision helps control feed consumption per pig, cutting costs by 10–15% compared to manual feeding. It not only boosts reproductive performance but also saves labor, reduces costs, and significantly improves piglet quality. The downside? Higher upfront installation costs and the need for technician training at the start. Once raised under strict nutrition, health, and housing control, the pigs undergo final evaluations before sale. Only those meeting strict standards, right weight, good appearance, ideal lean-to-fat ratio, and no signs of illness, are selected for processing. Finally, the meat is packed using modern preservation technology to maintain freshness and food safety during storage and transport. From there, it is distributed to retail chains, supermarkets, clean food stores, and other approved sales channels. From hoof care and environmental control to feeding and final processing, every step in pig farming plays a role in boosting livestock health and maximizing economic efficiency. When done consistently and with proper technique, this model not only delivers sustainable profits but also ensures safe, high-quality products that meet market demand. While many still consider rats to be pests, in Thailand, some farmers have turned them into a steady source of income. In particular, in the northeast of Thailand, rat farms are thriving, supplying hundreds of thousands of rats each month to the consumer market. Join us as we break into one of the largest rat farms in Asia, to explore every corner, every process, and the secrets that have never been revealed. Inside the farm, rats are raised in separate, clean, and drained cement tanks. There are more than 4,000 cages, each containing 6 to 12 rats. The total population at the time of our visit was nearly 300,000 rats, not counting the newborn rats born every day. The cost of raising each mouse is around $2, but the selling price is up to $7 to $8 per kg, while breeding mice can be sold for $22 per pair. Just doing a simple calculation shows the attractive profits that the mouse farming industry brings. The mouse farming process at Callison Farm is operated in a closed system, strictly following hygiene and disease control standards. Everything starts with the selection of breeds. Parent mice are carefully selected based on the criteria: healthy, fast-growing, good reproduction and ability to adapt to the captive environment. They are raised in separate cages, called breeding areas, to ensure biosecurity and easy monitoring of the life cycle. After the mother mouse gives birth, the entire litter will be raised with her mother for the first 3 weeks with breast milk. When they reach the age of separation from the herd, the mice are transferred to the fattening area. This is the time when the mice grow fastest. They are fed twice a day with a food mixture including rice bran, ground corn, fish meal, and some herbs to help increase resistance and limit body odor. The water source used is filtered water, treated with UV rays to ensure purity. Each breeding area is equipped with an automatic ventilation system, day-night cycle lighting, and a high-capacity deodorizer to keep the cage environment clean, minimizing bacterial growth. Technical staff check the mice daily, record growth, and promptly handle sick or weak cases. Some culled mice will be separated so as not to affect the general herd. After 6-8 weeks of age, mice will reach a weight of 200-350 grams, meeting the standards for export. Depending on the purpose of use, they are classified into 3 groups: live mice, frozen mice, and experimental mice. Individuals that meet the standards will be transferred to the humane slaughter area, using CO2 gas to anesthetize to avoid pain, then pre-processed, packaged, and refrigerated. The entire process is controlled by a digital management system, from the number of mice, breeding time, growth weight, to environmental temperature. This is a modern agricultural model, combining technology and local experience, producing hundreds of thousands of mice per month while ensuring safety, cleanliness, and sustainability. In Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, rats are a delicacy. High-end restaurants in Bangkok and Chiang Mai are willing to pay a lot of money to have clean rats with food safety certification. In addition, snake farms, owl farms, dragonfish farms all need a large amount of live or frozen rats every month. This is a stable market and is growing rapidly thanks to the exotic pet raising movement. A small part of the farm's rats are provided to medical facilities, labs, and universities for use as laboratory rats serving medicine, drug, and vaccine research. However, the development of the rat farming industry has not been entirely smooth. Many people still hold the prejudice that rats are dirty, carry diseases, and should not be eaten. To change this perception, farms must demonstrate clean breeding processes, strict disease management, and ensure food hygiene. In addition, they also have to lobby local authorities for licensing, legal support, and communications so that the model can be replicated in an official manner. Not only in Thailand, the rat farming model is also developed in other Southeast Asian countries such as Cambodia and Laos. In Cambodia, some farmers in Battambang province have switched from raising pigs and cows to raising rats because of lower costs and faster capital turnover.